Hello everybody, Bruce here with a video review of project number 2. So the first thing I'm going to do is just scroll through the entire page so you can see it. And again, I'm on a desktop view right now, okay? So you can see that. And please pause the video at any time. The first thing I want to bring your attention to is this nav bar at the top. The nav bar is has links to these various pages, and these pages don't exist, just so you know. We just have the home page. And when I resize the browser here, notice what happens. The name here, Sam's Nursery and Garden Center, flips over to the right, and then we have this hamburger menu here. That's what it's called, a hamburger menu. That's on the left. And this component right here, this nav bar, is a Bootstrap component that you can get from the Bootstrap site and customize as needed. In fact, by default, the nav bar will place the hamburger menu on the right, but we'll be talking in class about why I'm having you put it on the left. Okay? So on top here, we have plant and garden sale, and then we have some text here. And it looks like here, right, we have a Bootstrap column that goes across, all 12 columns on the desktop. And here I have an H1 that has a, background color on it. And I'm going to tell you that I did use CSS for very few of the things in the site, and I'll point those out as I go through them. But it's mostly Bootstrap classes. So you can notice that I gave the text here a drop shadow of a green color. And and I also gave this area top rounded corners using my own CSS. And I also gave this entire thing here a gradient CSS background. And there'll be information in the assignment to point you to sites that can show you how to do gradient backgrounds. And then, I have green text here, bolded text here, and a regular weighted font here. And then I have 2 rows of cards. I have a card here, a card here, a card here, and these are what we call Bootstrap cards or Bootstrap components that are cards. And each card has an image, each card has some text, and each card has a button. And I'm on the middle left side here, right? And I have another row of cards, right, for roses, trees, and houseplants. And I'll give you, all of the images and such. They're links, actually, to Unsplash images. And then I have just one big greenhouse picture here, right? And then I have a series of footer things down here, right, that are, take up a certain amount of columns. And notice how this one here is wider, so I got it to push all the way out here for this column right here. The other thing I want you to notice is that this text right here has a margin on it, and same with these links right over here. And notice when I hover over things like the phone number, and I hover over the email address, and I hover over any of these 3 links right here, I'm getting a hover state, right? This green text right here. Okay, I don't know why Siri came on there. I don't want Siri to do anything. Go away, Siri. No, Siri, go away. Okay. So I then have these SVG icons in the Follow Us section on the right that, notice, they don't have the highlighting, right? They don't have the highlighting as I hover over them. And these are Bootstrap icons. They're part of Bootstrap, and there'll be a link in the assignment to show you how to do these. And they're actually like black by default. And then I just use CSS to set the color of each one to, the Facebook blue, the Instagram purple, and the Twitter blue that I found on the internet. The other thing that I want you to notice, okay, and I did use CSS, okay, to style all these links. So The only CSS I used was up here a little bit, and for these links, okay? And I did also change the default blue color for these links here within the cards, okay? The other thing I want you to notice is the drop shadow of each of these elements. See, the header here has a drop shadow. Each card has a drop shadow. This image of the greenhouse has a drop shadow. And that's about it. These are H2s, right? Contact us, about Sam's, and follow us. And again, this is the desktop. So let me go down now to a medium breakpoint, okay? A medium breakpoint. Let me close that, okay? And notice how the images are stacking up. There is space between the images. I think I'm using gutter for that, kind of like you did with some of your other assignments. And again, there's some margin top here between these two rows, right? Because I put this entire image in one row in a column that spans 12. But notice now how the information on the bottom is aligning for a medium breakpoint, right? I have two columns, and then this one's pushed down. And then if I go down to small breakpoint, they all stack up. And notice how there's a nice margin separating them all. You may have to use some Bootstrap responsive margins, and we'll talk about that in Module 4. So there you go. Your job is going to be to pretty much code this from start to finish. And again, I only use CSS for the background color of this H1. I think I used it here. I used a CSS gradient here, and I changed the link state here for the hover to be this color and the actual color of the link here. And then I did some CSS here for the links, okay? So this is project number 2, and if you have any questions, bring them to the Slack questions channel or ask them in class, as I will be happy to answer them. I'm going to give you this video before the assignment is available on campus because I actually have to write it all up. Thanks for watching, and good luck with project number 2.